Welcome to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Tim is a retirement and income specialist, certified financial fiduciary, and the founder of SafeMoneyRetirement.com. Tim primarily serves Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Southwest Virginia, but he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Wood is a licensed life insurance professional in multiple states and specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies using life, health, long-term care, and annuity insurance products. And now, here to talk with you about securing your retirement, your host, Tim Wood.
Welcome to the Safe Money Retirement Show. I'm Tim Wood, an asset and retirement protection and guaranteed income specialist. You may live much longer than you think you will. There is an article here from the Society of Actuaries that I'm looking at that's really interesting that we're going to dive into during this segment about some numbers about how long people are living today. And keep in mind, these numbers don't even include some of the incredible medical advances that literally are being made daily, now that we're into 2024. Some of the medical advances of things that I've read recently are just amazing. So we're not even including that. This is actually from a couple of years ago, but it's very interesting. And you always hear me talk about wanting to give you a copy of my book. If you don't have one, I really suggest you give us a call and get one. These numbers that we're about to look at, you need to have a plan to live to 90, to live to 95. With these new medical advances, maybe even a little longer than that. And you can't do that by just having a boy, I sure hope so type of retirement, or what you've heard me call IFCOME before. That's not what's going to get you the peace of mind and know that you're going to be able to reach the finish line how you want to. So get a copy of my book. Just give us a call, 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Or you can just log on to our new website, SafeMoneyRetirement.com, S-A-F-E, SafeMoneyRetirement.com. Ton of great information on there. Some webinar replays. There's all kinds of stuff on that website, and you can request your free copy right from there. Okay. So what does this article from the Society of Actuaries say? First, I want to point out that a lot of people think, when I talk to clients, they say, let's plan for me living to 82 or 85 or whatever. But the truth is, I'm looking at it right now, for someone who today is in their mid-50s, 1 out of 3 males is going to make it to 90, and 1 out of 2 females will make it to 90. Now, let me say that again. If you were in your mid-50s today, 1 out of 3 males is going to make it to at least 90, and 1 out of 2 females is going to make it to at least 90. So my question before we even dive into any more of these numbers is, do you have an income plan set up to get you to there, even if inflation stays high? Even if something does happen to one of your other income sources? What do you have in place to know that you've got enough income? Because it says, the statistics are right here. Here's another interesting one. For a couple right now who are both still here and they're 65, the odds of the wife outliving their husband by 5 years is 44%, 10 years is 30%, and 15 plus years is 18%. So there's almost a quarter. There's over a quarter that's going to outlive their husbands by a decade, and there's, a little under a quarter that's going to live by 15 years longer or more. What do you have as a plan in place? Flip side, the odds the husband will outlive his wife by 5 years is 29%, 10 years is 18, and 15 years is 10. Same thing. What's your plan? And as far as passing away, 25% of couples who are 65 today will pass within 5 years of each other. And there's a 50% chance that one person in the couple will be alive at 92. That's the really big number on here that I really want people to think about. If you're 65 today as a couple, husband and wife, you have got a 50% chance for one of you to still be around at 92. Now, again, that's not with any of the great advancements in medical that's coming over the next decade or two. I mean, there's no telling what's going to be over the next decade or two. That's what the numbers are right now. So what's your plan? I talk to people all the time and they say, oh, well, my guy already has me a plan all the way out to age 82 or 85. Okay, great. Well, what are you going to do if you live to 92? Because 50% of the time, one of y'all will make it to 92. What's the plan? You know, do you really want to just rely on the government to take care of you? I mean, that's one approach, but boy, that's pretty risky in my opinion. We need to make a plan. The other thing that this article really talks about as far as things that I think are really interesting, of course, it's actually got 8 factors here that they came down and that actually control how long you will live. Now, there's obvious things. Genes and gender is one. Prenatal and childhood conditions is another. And health and safety of your neighborhood is another. I mean, obviously, depending on where you live. But there's some of them that actually are kind of interesting. Medical knowledge and access to it. Now, that may not necessarily mean you, but that may mean, finding someone that has that. Number 4 is education. Being able to educate yourself about what you can do, how can you reduce the stress, potentially by knowing you have enough guaranteed income to help you be able to, live a longer and healthier life. Number 3 is compliance with medical advice, doing what your doctors say. The number 2 and number 1 I thought were really, really, really interesting. Number 2 is social connections. Y'all have heard me talk about this a little bit before, but it's becoming more and more obvious that having those connections to friends, to having people to do things with, to go to bingo night with, to go to do something with, dinner, whatever it is, super, super, super important for longevity. And number 1 is personal health and safety habits. What are you doing for yourself health-wise? You need to make sure that you keep your health on point and do the absolute best that you can, for your body, especially once you get to 65. But what I want to leave people with today is really about this idea of, well, I don't think I'm going to live that long. Again, a couple that's 65 right now, one person in that couple will live to 92 50% of the time. So, and again, that's with medical the way it is today, and it's, advancing exponentially. So you need to have a solid income plan, a retirement income plan. And that retirement income plan should not be, boy, I sure hope the government's still going to be able to take care of me. I mean, if that's what it boils down to, then I sure hope that they can. But if you can make your own luck, let's just say, that's an even better plan. And I explain in my book how these plans work that you hear me talk about all the time that give you a guaranteed income that neither of you can outlive. Just get a free copy of my book and it'll explain how those work. But I want you to really think about that. 1 out of 3 males is going to live to 90 and 1 out of 2 females is going to live to 90 if you're in your mid-50s. But if you're 65 and married, there's a 50% chance one of y'all are still going to be around until 90, actually 92. So make sure you've got a solid plan. Well, I must take a short break. This is Tim Wood, and you're listening to the Save Money Retirement Show. Let's pause for some exciting announcements.
Did you know that your Social Security could be much higher depending on which option you choose for claiming your benefit? Social Security income is more complex than some think. When should you take it? Should you only take your spouse's benefit while you continue to work? Deciding how to receive your Social Security benefits can make your head spin. Don't decide about your retirement without the facts. Call us now and ask for your complimentary Social Security guide at 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Your Social Security is too important to leave to chance. Call us now at 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Now back to more of the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood.
Thank you for tuning in to the Safe Money Retirement Show. I'm Tim Wood, a market risk mitigation specialist helping clients with retirement money preservation and income planning. I have clients ask me often the difference between a bear market and a bull market and what that means. So we're going to just really briefly discuss what is a bear market. What does that mean? Well, first let's start with the definition of a bear market. And the definition of a bear market is a market that has gone down, basically a fundamental drop in over 20%. 20% or more is considered a bear market. Now, a bear market can last weeks, it can last months, it could last longer. Since 1966, the average bear market has been 446 days. That's over a year. Again, since 66, the average bear market has been 446 days, and there have actually been 5 of them. So we're going to discuss that really quick. First, if you don't already have a copy of my book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, just log on to safemoneyretirement.com. Get your free copy right now. It will help you never have to worry about what happens and what is a bear market and how far is it going to go down. You'll never have to worry about that again. So get the book. Give us a call if you don't have internet access, 833-413-SAFE, and we'll send one to you. Now, there have been 5 bear markets since 1974, 1980, 1987, 2000, 2009, and 2020. Now, here's the good news. Every single bear market in U.S. history has been followed by a bull market without exception, and it's been similar around the globe. Now, here's an example. In March of 2009, we know what happened between, late 8 and early 09, big crash. From March 09 to March 2010, we were up 69.49%. Major bull market, exact opposite of the bear market. It happens every single time. The challenge is we don't know when the next bear market is going to happen. It could happen at any time. And if all of your retirement is still at risk, if a long-term bear market happens, it can absolutely decimate your retirement savings. Those of you that have already read my book know the story of my father and how he lost over 75% of his retirement savings because he retired in 2000, which is, as you heard, one of the bear markets that we had. And his retirement account was down over 75% for those 4 years when the market was down. So you need to make sure that you are prepared for the next bear market and have a plan in place to ensure that the amount of money that you absolutely have to have for your retirement is protected in case that next bear market is right around the corner. Unfortunately, no one really knows when it's going to happen. We know it's coming, and then we know it's going to be followed by a bull market, but we don't know the time frame. That's why some of these products that you hear me talk about that have growth with no losses are so great. They can protect you in the bear market, but still give you a percentage of growth in the bull market to help keep your retirement on track. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call, and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulate while reducing exposure to market loss. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe from market losses and that you have an income you can't outlive so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call Tim Wood now for your complimentary Safe Money Retirement book and information kit at 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. or request your copy of Tim's book online at safemoneyretirement.com. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.